Good morning all. I was out trying to get some interesting little bird bits because I'm in a spot that I don't usually come to, but I'm not having much luck. So in the interim, I'm going to take you on a little trip down to a very cool and interesting spot. It's called Inscription Point. Well, I'm sure it had a different name when the Dharawal people, the traditional owners of the land, lived here. Yes, they've a while back they built a new walkway down here, so it's easier to get to. Still got to watch yourself though. It's little stairs and pretty steep here. These stairs are starting to rust out, as you can see. That's no wonder anyway. You can see where we are. Yes, anyway, this is Inscription Point, and it's worth having a look at because little life ring there. Because yeah, you can see this stuff. Friggin' bidu bush. Used to be part of my job trying to eradicate this stuff from the area. Comes from South Africa. Horrible shit. Just taken over the coast. They brought it over for dune stabilisation. Yeah, it worked. Now that's all there is. Anyway, aside from the fact, some Bistringia fruticosia. At least that's a native. It's coastal rosemary, they call that. Lovely stuff. Very salt resistant. Anyway, back to Inscription Point. Yeah, I think it was around the time of the Great Depression and the years leading up to it, and after it for a short time too, when shit, that's wet. When a lot of people were displaced from their homes, a lot of massive unemployment, and well, you know the period of history I'm talking about. Well, quite a few people from Sydney, men in general, came and camped, well not camped, but set up a settlement in some of the areas close to Sydney, but far enough away not to be hassled by the authorities. Now this is the first part here that I found quite some time ago, but there's still a lot of signs of habitation here, although bit by bit they're going. Now that's this beautiful sandstone strata here. You can see that's a metal pin that once held something up, and they follow in a line along that striation. There's another metal pin there, and it's its partner, this here. They also extend up into the ceiling a little higher. Over here are the remains of quite a large metal structure, also now rusting away into nothing. I don't know what that was, but you can see here this slab that has fallen from the ceiling, I would say. And this is, you can see the marks, the man-made marks on it. This is kind of a bodged up wall with a metal frame, and then they've plastered it or cemented it with a mixture of probably cement and sand and mud and whatnot, whatever material they had on hand. Here is their fireplace, also using metal in it. You can see that metal a nail or bolt coming out of it there, so they may have had a cover over the fire. I would say they probably had this area roofed. There's another post here, and metal all through this. Here you can just see it. So something came out across here like this. Here is this is man-made. So this, you know, maybe a kitchen or something. They probably had benches. There's some more metal in the wall over there. Like I said, this was around the... Someone's been having a good feed of urchins here. Probably ravens, I'd say, to bring them up this far. This was around the very early part of the 20th century. There was another settlement further up the coast, Tabogai Point on Cape Solander, which I can't show you now because it's there's nothing left of it. Here's another old post hole. But what I really wanted to show you was a bit further up along these rocks here. And this is the main reason why these people could survive here, living in probably predominantly on fishing, I suppose, but also whenever they got some money, coming into town and getting some supplies and then heading back to their settlements. The one that was on that's a wobbly rock. The one that was on Cape Solander and Tabogai Point, the houses were probably the most precarious place I've ever seen in my life to live. They were supported by struts coming out of the cliff, and they'd built actual houses. One of them was 2 stories, but the roof of it was level with the top of the cliff, and they lived there suspended above the waves for a long time. I remember my dad took me and my brother and I out there when we were really young, and some of the suspended footways and walkways and things were still there. Benches cut into the rock and supports made out of steel and stone. Very cool. Alright, I'm almost there. Just a bit rough going on these rocks, so excuse my sort of intermittent narration here. Alright, we're here. I'm just going to go up here and show you why they could survive here so well. This is quite amazing. Right. You can see the cliff up there, the rock wall. Water seeps down through the ground, through the moss. Of all that area above us, which is now part of Kamei Botany Bay National Park on the Cronulla side. You can see here there's mosses and native plants, lichen and things come out of the wall. The water basically percolated through the stone, comes out down here. And what they've done, I don't know whether they've built this themselves or whether this is a natural formation, but this isn't. At the foot of the runoff, you can see here where they've chiseled 2 runnels to funnel the water down into this hand-cut cistern in the rock. I'm just going to get this. Look. Some people have. Now I assure you that is very, very good fresh water. I've drunk it many times. I'm not going to now because I've just stirred up all the algae in there, but before I did that, it's beautiful fresh water. It really is nice. You can see the overflow here as well, where they've cut a runnel down there and off the cliff, off the shelf there. But they lived here in these caves or overhangs for quite some time, living on fish and oysters, and actually they probably did pretty well. Here's a nice perfect little shelf, and you can see again the rusty old evidence of structure. Another one over there, there's his mate over there. This would have been a perfect bedding area. Now in a high sea, I wouldn't like to be up here. It does get a bit rough sometimes. But that's the mouth to Botany Bay just out there. So it's, you know, it's not completely exposed to the elements. It's, the swell is broken up as it comes to the point, the heads there. And there's a lot of kunji on the rocks down there. This is an area where they do a lot of scuba diving. This is weedy sea dragons and all sorts of beautiful sea life out there. It's part of a marine reserve, and some of the local scuba shops and that do their training here. Here's some more evidence of human occupation, European occupation I should say. The Darawal didn't leave any evidence behind. Yeah, so it's a beautiful area, and some of the sandstone, you can see the patterns in it, and it's a great subject for artistic photography. Anyway, I can assure you of that. Taken many a picture here. Yeah, so you can imagine they would have had windbreaks, walls, and beds, and all their gear, fires, tripods, fishing gear. Lived here quite happily. Out of harm's way, out of sight, out of mind, I guess was their, you know, catchphrase, whatever you like to call it. They paid no rent. They lived on what they could catch and what they could catch. Like I said, the suspended houses on Cape Solander, Cabagai Point there were incredible. They were proper houses. This is more of a temporary setup and camp, but well, like I said, when you've got fresh water permanently, it's percolated through thousands of tons of rock and plant matter and soil. You can see now that's settled down. Just having a drink. It is quite hot this morning. Yep. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's better than out of the tap. Isn't that amazing? So anyway, that's my little bit of Inscription Point. It's good for posterity anyway. One day all these, look, here we go, just as I was winding up. Here's some pretty solid proof as well. These hooks and straps, all well and truly. Now when you think about it, what are we, 2014? 19, 20? Well, it's close enough to 100 years old, these remnants of structures. So they've stood the test of time fairly well. I mean, they're exposed to the constant salt and spray and wind, but they're still under this overhang. And here's another, they've cut steps All this work would have taken a long time and a lot of labour. There's probably some sort of cupboard or chair there. Another metal strap there. Quite thick, very strong. Like I said, and these hooks, some sort of, I don't know, but they've really put them in, they've cemented them in there, and that's where they've stayed. I would have loved to have seen what the setup was like. Really. I haven't seen any photographs of it. I mean, it's pretty well documented that people lived here, but there's no photographs as far as I know. There's photographs of the cliff houses. There's a few of them if you wanted to look them up. Cape Solander cliff houses, I think it's under, something like that. But anyway, that's Inscription Point, and it's I was going to call them ruins, but anyway, evidence of human occupation that one day won't be here anymore. That's that. See you later.